Guess who's fucking the motherfucker known as Bro Plata. I went full juggalo on that introduction. I don't care. We have a special guest below us, host one part of the Brown Petri Dish podcast, and my favorite roly-poly man, John Brown. John Brown is here, and then to my whatever side this is the sexy bearded man known as Tim Danko, Fat Jesus, whatever you want to name him. He is here, and it's 2021, and we're talking football.
That's right, Ray. We get the first show of the year, right? Don't be blasphemous, by the way. Don't call me Fat Jesus. Okay, that's bad. we don't want that on us. All right,
John,
comedian John Brown here. Thanks for being here, buddy. We're talking football, and happy year here, man. Because I'm pretty dialed in, but I think like you're more dialed in than me, even. So that's good. You're in a cloud of weed smoke, apparently. If you're watching the video, that's what it looks like.
I wish. I really, it's just bad lighting.
All right, man. So I guess we can just
really. He looks like real quick on his camera. You do look like you're about to give like a deposition in orange. Like I feel like you look like that camera in the courtroom where you're like in the separate area. Like, hey, man, I tried to do something.
Maybe I don't know. Maybe that's gonna happen later. We'll see.
Oh God.
No, I listen to like 8 hours of podcasts a day at work, and so I listen to Cleveland Browns Daily every day. I listen to several different NFL podcasts, so I think I'm pretty dialed in. We'll see. More than right.
Yeah, I mean, you're more than me. I mean, honestly, man, I had to stop watching. Not all the time, and I used to watch a lot of ESPN. I watch a lot of less now because it's getting stuffy, man. ESPN's getting stuffy, right? For a minute there, they would be fun for a minute, but now Levitard's leaving, right, man? And they like. I love their show because it was the one show that kept me from going nuts with all these talking heads yelling at each other. And then you had Stu Gatz, who's just essentially Ray Hyclak. And then, Levitard, those guys, like our show. We talk about sports. We also talk about everything else. I don't know. I can't, ever since Mike and Mike left, I can't really watch ESPN as much as I used to.
Yeah, that was definitely the show I watched like every day. And I haven't really watched ESPN since they left, I don't think. I usually watch NFL Network. I like their morning show.
That's shoot, Ray, we should have got this video. Crap, I forgot to ask you. The Good Morning Football guys, he did a parody of the speech from Network.
Yeah.
About the Browns, and it was hilarious.
Yeah, we just played that on our podcast because I loved it. It was awesome. But he gets fired up.
At first I didn't realize what the hell he was doing. And I'm like, it's Network, right? And then I'm like, I still didn't see the whole episode, so I don't understand the context. But I figured it out eventually. But yeah, it's pretty great. What's that guy's name?
Kyle Brandt. I had no clue what that was from. I was like, what is he? Like Dick Tracy or something, or what the hell is he? Does he have like the long overcoat on and shit?
Very funny. So, all right, man. Let's start, Ray, because you don't understand, Ray. We understand. Let's talk about Browns fandom in general, John, from your perspective, what it's like. I mean, anyone who's watching this who's a Browns fan understands, but it's really hard to explain to anyone on earth who isn't one, right? What it's like to be a Browns fan.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up in I think it's even more ingrained in me because than most people, because I grew up in Texas. My whole family was from the Cleveland area. We were basically on our own down there in Texas, and I don't know. So we came to Ohio every year for vacation. That was like my home away from home.
That's a badass vacation.
Yeah, it sucked. But we would go to the Football Hall of Fame. We'd go to the Football Hall of Fame every year when we came here, and my dad would teach me about all the old Browns players and everything. And when I was a kid, I had like maybe 3-4 years of watching the Browns that I remember before they left. I mean, I was 9 when the Browns left, I think. Mm-hmm. So I had maybe 4 years of watching them that I really remember, but it's just something that you can't explain. We've been through so much heartache and pain, and I'm a season ticket holder, so I've watched a lot of heartache and pain happen live, and it means so much to make the playoffs for the first time in so long, and I don't know. It's been especially bad. My seats where they're at are they're right above the visiting player panel.
Okay.
So for losses that I've experienced over the past 2 years, I have to also experience the visiting players' fans or visiting teams' fans coming down to try to get autographs from their players. So that is awful. And I make myself sit there and watch it because I know it makes me stronger.
Right. That's why, I don't go to that many games, mainly because I didn't have any money to go for a while. And the first year I could probably swing it like a bit, there's less fans. And I've thought about going to a couple because I'm on some sites, Facebook groups, and I try to get some tickets, but it ended up not working out. But I think the hardest thing to explain to people who aren't Browns fans is like, why don't you just give up on them already? Right? Yeah. Like, I'm like, I couldn't watch another NFL team and actually care to try save my life. The thing is, if I could, I probably would have.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I've never given up on any team. I mean, I've been a Cleveland Cavs, Browns, Indian, Buckeyes fan since I can remember. I mean, I feel like I was born into it.
Right, and same here, and I love it though. I mean, the best thing about it is that you can talk shit to all the bandwagoners. Ray Hocklack.
I'll never, and that's one thing. Okay, in my defense, sir, for being the tool third team in my fucking arsenal. The Penguins being the first, the Pirates being the second. Steelers are a very distant third. I don't root for or get on the Browns bandwagon because I understand it. I never got football. I never got the sport. When I was in high school, I went to the games and I looked at it and I'm like, why do they keep stopping? That's my question always when it comes to football. Why so many stops and starts?
Really?
It makes no sense to me.
As a baseball fan, you wonder why there's so many stops?
Baseball's different.
Yeah, baseball's my first love as a sport, so football was easy to figure out. Like they don't stop enough.
Hockey. My thing's hockey, and it's always been.
Where if you don't watch it on an amazing TV, you can't see the fucking puck. I don't.
Right? Geez.
It's a lot of see. Here's the thing: people say that, and I think it's way easier to follow a hockey game than I do a football game because at least with hockey, you understand once everybody gets into certain areas, once you follow the guy with the puck who's skating the fastest, it's actually a fun game to watch on television. It doesn't. The Fox tracker that they used to have was dumb. I hated that back in the day. That little thing they would use to trail the puck. What the fuck was that? Ew.
I was going to ask about that. Yeah, they made it look like a bad comet every time.
Yeah, it did. I was expecting a Batman pow every time I would hit the other side of the boards. That would be my thing. I don't know. Football to me, it can be exciting. It depends. But if you get a guy who's running, getting a 200, 300 yard game or season, or even when you can get those guys really moving, I think that's interesting. But when it's just we're going to take another break right after this sack, bam, okay.
Yeah, that's television, man. That's not the sports.
Yeah. With the sport, when a game's on the line and it's a big game and they go deep down the field for a pass and the ball
is exciting. I will acquiesce to that.
And the entire crowd is silent, and then the player either catches it or he doesn't, and the crowd reacts. It is one of the most amazing moments in sports.
Right. There's 80,000 people holding their breath at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's a good part about it. But when you got a little dink and dunk shootout versus two teams and there's really nothing, you're kind of I don't Well, it's all defense. That's usually when I would get bored.
I like the defensive games.
Yeah, so do I.
I mean,
Ray gives me shit because I still go to high school games. He gives me shit for it. But the reason I go is because they're fun. And, I went to New Philadelphia High School, and we've had 117, 18 game rivalry with Dover, and that's fun. That's nothing else I can explain. It's insane. It's great. It's a lot of fun. I'm happy that I went to a school with something like that. It's fun. And I went this year, and there was less people, but it was still just as fun. He gives me crap for it. Whatever. All right.
I find it creepy. I don't hang around at my old high school.
It's not creepy.
I don't either, man. All right. I just go to the games.
I don't go to mine.
Creepy.
I don't go to mine because my high school football team has won 4 games since I was in high school. I graduated in 2004. So Cuyahoga Falls was actually pretty good when I was in high school. They've been terrible ever since. And not because of me. I wasn't a star football player or anything, but yeah, no, there's like old people that sit at like there's old men that like sit at McDonald's during the day and they all talk about the high school football team and shit. That's
all
shit.
the time.
Yeah, that's
all
not weird.
the time.
That's not
Yeah, I
weird.
know a bunch of people like that, and that's fine. It's fun. You know?
Like staring at the cheerleaders, or
right?
Like
If you long as you don't do that.
Yeah, no, that's never a good idea.
Unless you don't go after the kids, right? If you don't go after the kids, there's people like that, man. They will scream stuff at the kids and whatnot, and I'm like, dude, come on, man. They're kids, bro. They're kids.
Yeah, the worst idea the Browns ever had was I don't know if they still do it because I don't really pay attention to that stuff, but they used to have high school cheerleaders at the Browns games. And they would have like 4 different high schools every week, and they would rotate around the field. And it was just like, wait, you're parading high school females in front of
the dog pound
1,000 drunk men. Like, I mean, like how stupid it was. I thought it was so cringy.
Yeah. I always found that weird, like hockey games, when they would actually do that with like high school and even like just cheer teams. They would try that shit, and I'm like, this is probably the drunkest crowd they've ever performed in front of, and I don't think that's a good thing. Like, like Brian Regan did you've heard the Brian Regan story about like he was the spokesperson for a beer company. And he was at a hockey game doing stand-up in front of or while the dog was on a Zamboni and just getting booed horribly. That's a hockey crowd. Like, that's exact. And there's a lot of people don't care about like the teenage kid.
Who books that, Ray?
Boo that. No.
I do that. Like, Pete had a thing with the rubber ducks for a while. Like, he never let me go. I always asked him. I think he wouldn't let me go because I was the one person that wanted to. So he was worried about it. He was worried about why I wanted to do it so bad. I'm like, cuz you get to do comedy on the dugout in between innings? That's why.
Yeah, that'd be cool. Dude, I went to when I worked at Brewbakers, my brother was a manager at Brewbakers, and they gave us the Miller Lite Loge at the back then it was the Akron Arrows game. And we got kicked out of the Miller Lite Loge. It was pretty funny. They my brother and his girlfriend, who was also a manager for Brewbakers, got in a fight, and she shoved him out of the way, and he spilled over into a table and broke a bottle of vodka on the floor. They were like, all right, you guys got to get the fuck out of here. So I had somebody that had another Loge down the hallway, so I was just like taking Miller Lights and shoving them in all my pockets. And then drove down. But that was a good time. It was the Akron Aero Stadium, or Akron Rubber Ducks now.
Oh man, that sounds fun, man. I wish I could afford to go to one of those things. Like, I mean, the best I ever did is I had club seats to a Cavs game one time.
Yeah. That's always fun when you
that was cool because that was the first time LeBron was there, and they're playing Steve Nash and the Suns. Right, so I'm happy I get to see some Steve Nash play, one of the greats, and LeBron. We lost. And Stephon Marbury and his Sean Merriman and his weird shot. All right, anyway, football.
Yeah.
All right, so let's do this, man. Finally, for the first time since 2002, our Brownies have got their way into the playoffs, man. What do you think is the biggest reason this finally happened, man? I'm gonna say Kevin Stefanski. I think we finally got ourselves a very handsome coach that actually knows what he's doing. Right, I'd love for the ugly coach to be good too. I mean, I rooted for Freddie Kitchens. Right, it just didn't work out. But now we have this handsome man who seems to know what he's doing. Also, we have a great front office, I believe. I mean, I like some of the things John Dorsey did too. Some of his draft picks are kicking ass for us. But the front office is great. I don't know. What do you attest it to the most?
I think it's definitely Kevin Stefanski, and I like that. Like, everybody is talking about Kevin Stefanski and Kyle Shanahan, all these young offensive minds, and I think that might not be it. I think Danko might be right. It might be the handsomeness of these.
I think so.
He does have a great face, like very symmetrical. I like it.
The thing about it's weird that all the handsome guys are winning because I mean, like, you got to pretend like they didn't get the job part because of their handsomeness. I don't know because you know what, we had to wait 1 year for Stefanski because we gave Freddie Kitchens a shot and he looks worse than me and John and Ray. So like,
I I want to know how Stefanski turned out to be such a cool, level-headed dude, because his dad is an executive in the NBA. So you'd think he would be like the biggest cocky dick, like, I mean, but he's
Right.
he's like a level.
You do get those people though, man. You do get those guys who like even though they're rich as fuck, I mean, they still keep their kids like level headed. And he might have gotten lucky with this one. Maybe it was one of those things where it's not like super militant, but it's like, hey, just don't be an asshole. Like,
I don't know,
one of those old school days.
Was Stefanski in the military? I don't know, because he has that like,
I don't know either.
he has that
I don't know.
he has that very disciplined like military attitude, like where it doesn't matter when they came back on the Bengals and it was an amazing win, or when they lost in the last seconds to the Ravens, the guy is the same in the press conference every single time.
I think with his dad being in front office of an NBA, maybe it's just your whole life seeing how wheels turn, maybe. Just seeing what kind of works and what doesn't, like how you should conduct yourself, maybe in that setting, and maybe, what works and what doesn't. I don't know. That's just my guess. I'm not sure.
Yeah. And I think it's also with the success of the Browns this year, I think it's also the success of Baker Mayfield. I mean, I think it's him finally having a coach who knows how to groom quarterbacks, put him in the right situations. Stefanski loves to do the rollout passes and he's gotten Baker to where he's one of the best quarterbacks in the league at getting guys to jump off sides. I mean,
he's awesome at that. It's one of those things you don't really think about someone being really good at, but he's really good at it.
Yeah. And he's always been really good at like whenever he sees an opportunity for pass interference like that, he'll throw the ball up to that receiver, even though he knows there's no chance of him catching it.
Right. And since 1999, this is definitely not the first guy I've had high hopes for, but more than anyone, I say this all the time, even before like we knew if he was going to be the guy or not. And there's still some people that think he's not. I mean, I saw somebody I think it was ESPN said that if they didn't beat the Steelers last week, the Browns were going to get rid of him. I'm like, no, man.
No.
But I've never wanted it to be any of those guys more than I wanted it to be Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
Because I love his energy, man. I love his competitiveness. I love that that's the one thing about this team that I love the most is that they get it. Like, get it. When I mean by it is us, the Browns fans. They understand that it's been so long, and I think they get it, man. They understand how much it means to the city, right? They're being around the city. They understand how crazy these fans are and how much they want a winner, how much we deserve a winner.
Yeah,
and they feed off of it. Sometimes guys will say stuff like that, but I mean, when you see it, Mayfield says it all the time, which is one of the reasons why he's like the biggest celebrity in Cleveland right now. We love him to death. And I mean, other players say it too. I mean, I guess I keep rambling on, but let me finish our point. Probably every fan base thinks they have the best fans, and some of them may be right. But when players from other teams, like when Alex Mack told Austin Hooper, like, dude, they're at a different level up there.
Yeah.
Right. Then it's true. And other people say it too. The Cleveland fans are great, are nuts. And the fact that we have guys that understand that and want to fight for us, it seems like, I'm not saying he wouldn't fight for other people, but he's acknowledging the fact that we need this.
Yeah, well, dude, and you got players that were here a very short amount of time. TJ Ward, Brandon Whedon, all these guys on Twitter, like just singing their praises for the Browns and being so happy for the fans and everything. That doesn't happen with other teams. I mean, it's just those guys feel such an attachment to the Browns because of the way the city is. Phil Dawson said it's different than any other NFL franchise. He said it's like you're playing for a college team. He said everybody in the town's got the colors on. Everybody's pumped for the game. The whole city's there. I mean, it's Sundays in downtown Cleveland. Pre-COVID, they're just some of my favorite times I've ever had in my life. I mean, they're just it's crazy. And the year we were 0-16, we still had
still showed up.
Yeah, we still had packed crowds, packed bars, house and shit. I mean, it was awesome. I mean,
right. The only problem I ever had with that is I hope they don't think if that happened with the Indians and Paul Dolan would be like, oh, good, then we can just be bad and it's fine. They're cool if we're bad.
Yeah,
that's what he would think, right? That's not how.
Let's sell the naming rights to the stadium for the third time. Let's go for it.
Yeah. There's another point about that I was going to make it. I forget. Oh, when we had Hard Knocks on HBO a few years ago, I think, I don't know who it was, but like the first day of a preseason practices, there's a bunch of people there, and somebody said to someone else, one of the players, like, "Oh man, are they excited for the first day?" And someone was like, "Dude, they're going to be here every day."
Yeah,
this the whole time. That's always how they are. They're chanting for practices and shit. I'm like, that's how they are all the time.
I love going to training camp.
I've never been there. I need to go. Maria, I need to go.
Yeah, it's awesome. I feel
I've also never tailgated in the community lot. So, if
it is a fun experience. I've done that too.
Yeah,
I've done that myself.
Gets better.
I would rather tailgate in the pit. I think the muni lot's a little too commercial, a little too overrated. I don't know.
I get you. That makes sense. Like, I have a different speed of tailgating for me.
Yeah,
I just like to eat my burgers and drink my beer. I don't.
You would like the pit, Tim. I'm telling you.
I believe you.
The muni lot to me is like where you go whenever you like for your first couple Browns games, maybe.
Yeah.
Or like
it's the mainstream tailgating.
Yeah, some people have gone there forever. I mean, but like my last experience in the muni lot, I was like, I'm never coming here again. We pull in, and we're like one of the first cars there. We got there early as hell, and we pull into the spot, and these like 4 frat boys pull up next to us, and they take out like 2 half-stack speakers, and they're playing nothing but like the Backstreet Boys and Britney Spears and all that shit the whole time. Not what I want to listen to when tailgating for a football game. I mean, it was so awful. And then they're just like, I don't know, they're just annoying as hell. I'm like, I'm never coming back here again. We're going to the pit.
That's
the pit. You can pee on the fence with the train going by, and it's a great experience. It really is. People walk those.
I tailgated there. What was the 9-6 Browns Steelers game back in 2009?
Yep.
And I made sure to hide whatever Steelers gear I was wearing to make sure nobody would do anything to me. Because that is Sodom. Like you said, that is more Sodom and Gomorrah than it is the pit. It's this weird mishmash of like weekend warriors and football parents that are like, yay, we're out of the house, let's party. And then you're like, ew, I don't want to be here.
Right. The thing is, I don't know, John, if you ever been an away fan in any sport, but like the thing is, just be respectful, right? You just be respectful.
Yeah, I went to the Jets game for Monday Night Football last year in New York. That was a good time. And my buddy that I brought with me was not respectful.
There you go, man.
He was hammered. And
there you go.
Yeah. And he was sitting there like Jets fans were leaving at halftime because we were beating them so bad.
Mm-hmm.
And he's sitting there while they're walking out. Jets sucks. I mean, I was like, dude, we're in New York, man. Chill.
Right, man. Yeah, geez.
Chill out. Like,
well, when I saw the Indians play at Fenway a few years ago, that was a great experience because I mean they're used to that. They probably have more away fans at a lot of places because it's a great park. It's like seeing baseball in a museum, and everyone was cool. Like there was people with the girl I was dating at the time. They're like, "You want me to take this picture for you?" They're super nice, right? Super nice because they understand. They get it because they have so many people there. But I wasn't being a dick, right? Also, we lost that game. We won the series, but we lost the game I was at. Anyway, the point is don't be a dick. Raymond, don't be a dick. All right?
That's what I'm good at, sir. You know this. It's my my mantra.
Go ahead.
When I'm tailgating in Cleveland, I am a different person. I am not a nice person. I don't know what it is, but something comes over me and I had an experience at the Steelers game not too long ago, probably 2 years ago, and we were playing left, right, center. We always play to try to win some money before we go into the game. And there was a Steelers fan that walked up to us, and she was about a 70-year-old lady or so. And she was decked out in Steelers shit. And every time she opened her mouth, I would just make like the most annoying sound in the world, like the and whatever. And just every time she opened her mouth. And I did it for like 5 minutes because it took her like 5 minutes to get the hint that I did not want her to talk to our group or whatever. And
you monster.
Everybody in our group's like, you're the biggest fucking dick. I'm like, sorry, man. I can't help it.
It's probably what happens when you start drinking at 6 a.m.
Yeah.
It's probably what it is. Okay, so finally, we're 11-5. We got ourselves into the playoffs. We have to play Pittsburgh. I mean, man, I wish we were playing Buffalo. I mean, number one, I want us to win no matter what, but I feel a little bit better if we lost to Buffalo than Pittsburgh.
Yeah.
That's just me. But all right, so this is the thing, right? We get in, and then good Lord COVID comes and hits us hard, right? Our head coach, Kevin Stefanski, is going to be done, right? Acting head coach is a special teams coach, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mike Priest. He's done it one other time in Minnesota.
Okay. Well, I mean, his job is pretty much to make sure that the offensive, defensive coordinators don't fight each other, and basically just let them do their thing and manage the game. And he'll have to make the big decisions, but I think he'll do it the way that Kevin Stefanski would do it. Right? He'll go for it up to fourth downs and whatnot. What was I going to ask? Oh, because you keep posting about this on Facebook. That's one of the reasons I want to have you on, because you're more tuned into this than me.
Yeah.
Who's playing tomorrow?
So the only people we have out tomorrow that isn't due to injury is Denzel Ward, and Kevin Johnson on the defense with our slot corner and our number one corner, which sucks.
Which sucks because we need those guys against freaking Mapletron and Smith-Schuster.
Yeah, but the biggest deal is Joel Bitonio at left guard. I mean, that's huge because we don't currently have a left guard. We didn't have a left guard on the roster until this week. We signed one off the practice squad. So not great. And because Nick Harris, who is our backup center and sub-center guards, is out, and Connor Lamb, as I understand, is out. So that's not good. So we have, I don't know the guy's name. He's a practice squad left guard. He's never started a game in the NFL, but everybody else on our offensive line, as far as starters, is there. And we're missing our fourth wide receiver,
Hodge.
Cutterell Hodge. But we did get Donovan Peoples-Jones back, so that's good. He's able to go. And as far as the COVID guys, Ronnie Harrison, who tested positive on Thursday, it came out today that it was a false positive, and he tested negative 2 days in a row, so he's going to be able to play. Who was the other one? There was one other one that tested positive that was a close contact that was able to play. Harrison Bryant, the tight end, is going to be able to play. Yeah.
Good, because we're going to be using all those guys. Obviously, we always use the tight ends. Where was it? Oh, whoever this guard is that plays, man. If he ends up having a good game, it's going to be like when Ryan Merritt won that game in the ALCS in 2016, right?
Yeah,
he's going to be our new folk hero, right? We love him to death. He ends up having a good game, right? He'll be he'll be the man. And I hope whoever plays well at least holds his own, man, because we're going to need him, man. Especially. We have great running backs, man, but they need, you can't do it without an offensive line, obviously. And we have one of the best guards in football is out.
Yeah, that's what I really think is going to be the key to the game, is that, and the Browns coaches have admitted that they did hold back with the running game last week because they knew that they were going to need them this week.
It was strange why they didn't run more, but it makes sense.
Yeah, Pittsburgh sucks at defending the run, so that's what we're going to do. I think. I mean, we're undefeated when Nick Chubb has 20 carries, so that's a big thing. And
he's going to have 20 carries.
Yeah, he give him 20 carries. The other thing is the Browns are I believe like 9-1 or something like that. Or no, they're undefeated when they're either neutral or positive in the turnover battle. So that's the other big thing about the game tomorrow is Baker can't turn over the ball, and he knows that. I mean, but I think they're going to be fired up, ready to go, man. I think a lot of Steelers fans are pissed at Juju Smith-Schuster, as always.
It's always, you know what though? Did you hear the full quote? It wasn't that bad. Like
bad. It was very disrespectful, I think. I mean, the Browns are 11-5, and he said this is the same Browns team we play every year. And
yeah, I know, but just that line is awful.
Yeah.
But the way he said it, man, I don't think it was nearly as bad as
it's people not though. Like that's not that's a very team positive thing to say. And that's coming from a one-sided, lopsided here point of view, being a Steelers fan. That's not a horrible thing to say. If he was to come out and say the Browns fucking suck as always, then I'd have a problem. But it's pretty much, I mean, as long as he's saying we're playing the same team, I get where he's coming from. It's not totally awful.
He might as well have danced on the logo. I don't know.
He did.
Well, that's the thing. If it was coming from anybody else, it probably wouldn't be that bad. But it's coming from the guy who danced on the logo.
Yeah.
Right. And Matt,
he's becoming the Conor McGregor of fucking Browns, of like the Steelers. Like he does dumb shit, they lose, and then he comes back and says dumb shit.
Like he got his though. Last time he did that, he got his. Conor doesn't get his then. Well, I guess against
I was about to say Habib fucked him up pretty good.
Habib did. Yeah, Habib did. Besides that. All right, so who you got, John? What are you thinking, man? Do you like the spread? What's the spread right now?
I'm picking the Browns. I actually bet Chef Tony $20 on the Browns, and he gave me the 6 points, which is the spread. But I think we're gonna win. I mean, I think it's gonna be a close game, but I think we're gonna win.
That's a lot less than I go with Chef Tony when I bet against Chef
He
Tony. Told
me last night. He was like, Tim Danko bet me $400.
It wasn't that much. It was two, I think. It was the Ohio State Clemson game last year. I wasn't, I didn't feel bad about the bet. I didn't feel bad about it because I mean I wouldn't have bet the money if it wouldn't have been all right. But I felt confident about that. That was a good bet, but they lost. They should have won that game. They beat Clemson this year, and that's what we're going to do next.
All right.
After Ray makes his pick. Ray, make your pick.
Steelers, obviously. I'm wearing the shirt, so I have to pick them.
Yeah, I didn't put money on it, man. But because I didn't put money on it, I can say that I'm going to pick the Browns because I want them to win so bad. If they lose, am I going to be bummed? No. The only thing that's going to bum me out is if they don't show up and they get demolished.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do see it being a close game. I mean, if you look at the improvements that the Browns have made over this season, which I will acquiesce to. I mean, they did also beat our second stringers on the second go round this year, which is it does. I mean, it's like you're basically short bus versus normal bus. Which are you going to beat up the most, and which one do you really want to face? I would rather have you guys face a healthy Ben Roethlisberger and the rest of our guys who we didn't seat that last game. And then instead of Mason fucking Rudolph, that helmet head, like that guy when he punched, was it Myles Garrett?
Yeah.
He tried to go after Myles Garrett. Myles Garrett was in the right for what he did, in my opinion, as a Steelers fan. You're a dumbass.
I was at the game and we were cheering at him. We were cheering, take his hat off. I mean, it was. I don't know, man. I think he called him the N-word. I do.
More than likely.
You know what? This isn't fair to him, but you look at that face and you're like, yeah, that's a face that would say that.
Yeah.
He looks like an
Avon Lake.
Yeah.
And it doesn't help that Myles Garrett's the most mild-mannered person. I mean, you're talking like 4 weeks before that happened, some dude punched him in the face in traffic and he didn't do anything about it. Right. I mean, like, he's the most mild-mannered person there is.
Right. But when he puts the helmet on, he's a monster, right? And we see it all the time in fighting. So we talk about fighting a lot. But, yeah, he's one of those guys, too.
Yeah. But, Ray, I got to say, your whole narrative there, just bullshit. All right? I mean, the Steelers sat 3 starters last week, which was T.J. Watt, Cameron Hayward, and Ben Roethlisberger. The Browns had 8 starters out in that game. And it wasn't because they sat them. It was because of injury or COVID. But still, I mean, we were on our number one cornerback most of the year this year has been Money Mitch, who was supposed to be the best 4th cornerback in the league this year, and he's been like our number one most of the year because Denzel Ward is never healthy, and Greedy Williams
been out the whole year.
Greedy Williams is literally never healthy. I mean, he's played like 4 games for the Browns in 2 years, I think.
I just like being an asshole and stirring up stuff. I am the Stephen A. Smith of this whole thing where I act like I know what I'm talking about, but really I'm just a dummy who doesn't know how to throw a punch. So,
however, you admitted it. He'll never admit it. Right?
No, he will never admit that shit.
Ray, go ahead and throw that comment up. I know you want to. Go throw the comment up.
One of your friends, Alan Plotz. I like him today. He's fun. Tim looks like homeless Jesus. He owned a country. If he owned a country buffet, I prefer golden. God damn it! So next time, do better.
Come on, man. I met homeless Mr. Rogers.
Is Tim wearing a cardigan?
You know what? Stop. This is the same guy who gives me shit for my Crocs. All right. And you know what? Who's got the hair, Alan? Boom.
Oh.
He has long hair too, but he's taking care of it though. He's getting some shots and spending some money on it. It's getting a little better.
Next.
I shouldn't give this dude shit because I begged him to watch this today. So yes, a golden buffet. Good. We're good. All right. So let's go to Ohio State before John has to go. All right. So this is something that we're used to a bit more, right? Just a little bit more. But you know what, man? I didn't bet on the Clemson Ohio State game because I didn't expect it to happen the way it did, and I had no idea. Oh, I love you, Alan. I had no idea how good Ohio State was until that Clemson game. No one really did. Right?
Nobody did. No, I mean, I knew how good Justin Fields was, but I had no idea. I didn't know that Justin Fields was that tough until that game.
Right,
I mean,
man.
That dude took one of the worst shots I've seen in football in a long time and just got up and threw 6 touchdown passes. I mean, that's that's crazy.
Yeah, and shout out to he has a YouTube channel, Dr. Brett Shooter, I think is his name, Strutter, I believe. I don't know, I can't remember.
We'll be having him on the show soon.
We're gonna try hard. We're gonna try hard to get him because he has a great page, but he talks about this medical stuff in sports. But he went over that injury and probably what happened, and even after watching that, you're like, oh man, it was really nuts. At halftime, I'm sure he got some sort of mystery needle.
Yeah,
but they do that all the time. That's not anything new. Something he got something, and he ended up playing great. And he had a bad game before that, right? So it was great that he came out and played great. And that Sermon's been the surprise. I mean, however, this is only 2 games they really gave him the football. Really?
Yeah, it's crazy, man. That guy he transferred from Oklahoma, and didn't really play much. And I mean, that's why he transferred from Oklahoma because he didn't play any there, and transferred to Ohio State. He hasn't played much in the last 3 games I think he's played, and he's been killer. And he's going to get drafted because he's a senior. Yeah. He doesn't have another year of eligibility, so he's going to get drafted by somebody off the 3 games.
Yeah, he went from undrafted free agent to like a 5 or 6 round, maybe, probably.
Yeah,
this is a guess. But the thing is, he probably wasn't going to get drafted until this, and we'll see what happens against Alabama. Alabama, damn it, they're good. I mean, they're always good, but this year a little different than other is they score, and they score a lot.
Yeah, they have 3 maybe first-round wide receivers,
right, including the Heisman Trophy winner, Smith, and Jones, their quarterback, is great. But you know what? This is usually I would say to beat Alabama, you have to be able to slug with them. Usually, this year you beat Alabama by keeping up with them, which is weird.
Yeah, their defense isn't great this year.
Yeah, it's not. But man, they score. I mean, Florida kept up with them, and the game was a little closer score-wise than it actually was. But I mean, that's going to be the thing. I think I saw something today that some computers, I don't know, some Vegas computers said the score would be something like 53-36. You know, I don't know what the over-under is for this, but I guess probably over. Probably. Yeah. I don't know.
You can tell I'm getting older. I'm 34. You can tell I'm getting older now because I'm like, I mean, I've had a job, the same job for 8 years, and I've gotten to the point where I'm like, man, why are these games so late? You know, that's my like main concern.
Back to back, right?
Yeah. Why are these games so late? I'm gonna have to get no sleep 2 nights in a row. It's gonna suck.
Right, and I'm going to watch the game at my brother's house. It's like 25 minutes away from me. He lives out in the middle of nowhere, but we're going to watch the games there. But I'm like, well, so what am I going to do? Like, I'm not doing anything Monday. Should I just stay all day? Or should I, like, I'm going to have to sleep on the couch Sunday night, so maybe I'll come home, get a nap in my bed, and then go back out for the next game.
Yeah.
I'll figure it out. And maybe I'll just stay drunk the whole time. Who knows? Probably won't make it. I probably fall asleep.
That's the best Tim Danko, in my opinion.
What, drunk all the time?
Yeah. Yes, because drunk Danko, when he messages drunk and high Ray is fantastic. I love that when you you just text me. He has this mode, John, where he's just like, drunk Tim wants to buy something on Amazon. And I'm like, I hope he does. Just please do it.
Oh, that's great.
Oh,
I think Ohio State's going to win, though. I do. I have faith. I think we're going to have a good weekend in football this.
Man, I really hope so too. Like the thing is, this whole weekend, I'm like, man, this is make or break. My sports teams can either maybe have one of the best weeks I've had in a long time, or totally break my heart. And what didn't help, let's talk about this quick. What the Indians did it? I mean, I knew it was knew it was coming.
Oh God!
But why'd it have to be this week? Like they broke my heart this week, right? And if the football teams don't pick it up,
they're going to lose so many. They're going to lose so many supporters, and that stadium attendance is going to be awful this year because of the Lindor trade and Carrasco. Carrasco had a lot of fans, and I didn't see why they traded him. Like it makes sense.
I don't know where my cat is. We just got a new cat, and I wanted to name the cat Carrasco, but that got shut down.
Yeah,
but I was able to sneak in Cookie, so the cat's name is Cookie. Although I did say, I'm like, he's most likely going to be traded, but it doesn't matter. He's like I think last time I went to a game, Carlos Viagra was there, and I got a picture. He's going to be one of those guys. He's always going to be around. I mean, maybe he'll live in Cleveland. We're always going to see that guy. He's going to be a guy you remember as an Indian, probably no matter what.
Yeah, you just got to trade your cat now. That's all.
Yeah, I tried to trade it for my brother's dog, but they weren't into it.
Yeah. No, man, but I don't know the Indians and the name change thing. I mean, but doing that both in the same year, and I don't understand why they had to announce it so early. Like, why are you announcing it that you're changing the name in 2022? Like, it just
pressure, maybe. I mean, Washington, the Redskins, formerly the Redskins, had so much pressure on them they decided to just can it right away. Like, we don't have a plan in place. Let's just take it out the uniform.
Yeah, I think I think if they would have waited on that, or if they would have if they would have said they were going to change their name and then been like, all right, I guess we'll give Lindor a $300 million contract or something like that's either one. Like just both of them in the same year is going to lose them so many supporters. I think it's going to be ugly.
Well, the thing is, they're not going to lose me. I mean.
Yeah,
and the name change thing is, and I said to Ray, I'm like, I could pretend like I've been hoping this would happen for a long time. I know it's the right thing, and it should happen.
Yeah,
but I'm not going to lie and say I'm not going to a little bummed about it. Of course, I'm bummed about it.
Yeah, I am too. Yeah, I do have a Cleveland Spiders shirt though. So
I don't like that name, man. It might be the winner. I don't like it at all. I like Guardians. Really? You know what? One of the reasons, and this is a silly reason why I don't like the Spiders, but
like
what?
Everybody would make fun of us and be like, "Of the galaxy," like
hey, that would be a great marketing thing. It would be a great marketing thing. You give Chris Pratt to show up, throw the first pitch out one season. That would be a good thing.
I told Ray I'd only like the Spiders if Tom Holland would come out and throw the first pitch.
Yes.
Yeah. See, is it like the whole Indian thing? Is it just because it's just because Indians is like a derogatory term? Like, because I feel like Cleveland natives would be a good name, but I don't know if that's offensive.
That wouldn't work either.
No, that wouldn't work either.
Even though it has multiple meanings. Same thing with tribe. That wouldn't work either.
Or why couldn't you name them after like a actual Native American tribe that was from Cleveland?
Because you'll never get permission. People who are satisfied ever. You'll never get people who are just satisfied with that and then find a reason why it's wrong. And I'm not saying the name change is not a bad thing. To be honest with you, I'll buy whatever's on there. But like, it's just you watch that and then it becomes that thing where it's only about Native Americans, bad racism, all that stuff, and it'll always be that way. With that, at least for sure, because of the history. Yeah.
But then you go you watch a Braves game and their fans are doing like the hand over mouth thing and everything. Right. Like, I mean, that's
I mean, and they won't change it. And I mean, like the Chicago Blackhawks, I think they actually have permission from someone from like the tribe, Blackhawk tribe. I believe that's true. So they're not going to change anytime soon either.
What's John Adams going to do?
What's that?
what's John Adams gonna do? He's gonna stop wearing the headdress, I guess. Huh? Can't
I
really
don't care. You know what? I'm all for Cleveland John Adamses.
Yes.
Or like the rally drums, Cleveland rally drums. I'm up for that.
Yeah. I don't know, man. It is a bummer, but I get it. I understand it.
Mm-hmm.
It bums me out. It's my childhood.
Right.
Yeah.
Here, man.
And
I get it.
And all the merch I have to get rid of. Or just,
Right. It's not. That's the thing. Like all my stuff with Wahoo's on it. I'm like, oh man, can I not wear this out in public? I mean, depending on where I am. I live in Tuscarawas County. I can wear it here. That's fine. But there's some comics I know that will give me shit if I wear it. Probably. Like,
yeah, you can wear it to Funny Stop. Just maybe
and I probably have.
Yeah, just maybe not Lakewood.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I mean, even then, like, there's some comics who wear like Indian stuff still with like Chief Wahoo on it up there. Not many, but it is definitely a thing.
As long as you don't wear the yellow Chief Wahoo, that was the
right.
a bad one. Yeah,
that's what I was hoping when they got rid of that one. They were just like surprise, and they just brought the old one back.
I think I actually still have a pennant of that Chief Wahoo somewhere in my room.
Yeah.
I think. Yeah. It's
All right,
just
John.
hanging out being racist.
Brother, who are you working with tonight at the Funny Stop Comedy Club in Cuyahoga Falls, Ohio?
Mike Chiselka, and he is hilarious.
Is he? I don't know that guy. I don't know him, but
I saw some video on Funny Stop's Facebook page for it. It was pretty. He was hilarious. He was doing pretty good.
Yeah, he was like a touring comedian for like 30 years, but he was Sam Kinnison's feature for like 3 years. And now I believe he's like a lawyer or something, and Pete kind of uses him whenever somebody cancels or whatever, and he he needs somebody. He had Mark Price cancel, so
that's right.
Yeah. So, but Mike Chiselka, I mean, I was kind of bummed when Mark Price canceled because I didn't know the guy either, and but he is hilarious, man. He's been really fun to work with.
Have you worked with Mark Price before?
No.
Yeah, it's not. He's all right. I mean, I've ran like a sound before, and he has like a whole bit where he has a bunch of sound cues and whatnot. And I mean, he definitely plays up. He's not the only one. He plays up. Hey, remember when I was on TV, right? That and okay. I don't blame people for that, and I don't blame for clubs for booking them either.
Yeah, I was just excited about the crowds. That was because he usually sells out. I mean, that's
right.
That's all. But yeah, it's been a fun weekend so far. So
that's cool, man. Well, dude, thank you for coming on, brother.
Yeah, thank you guys. And follow me on John Brown Comedy if you're watching.
Yep.
And check out the Brown Petri Dish podcast. I have an episode on there where I am a complete and utter political failure as a human being.
No, you were good. Your episode was fine.
So it's fun, but yeah, check them out. What just happened? I went. Something just happened where a bunch of stuff flickered. But no, yes, check out Brown Petri Dish podcast with John Brown and Brandon Petrie. Both of you guys rock. I like you guys as well.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me on, guys.
No problem, man.
I
said no problem, man. Where's Ray? What happened to Ray? Like John's still here, but Ray's gone. Ray, don't leave, man.
I think he lost connection. There he is.
There we go.
I'm right here.
Right. I'll see you guys later. It was good.
I'm right
good
here,
man.
Yeah, I don't know. My Wi-Fi sucks right now.
All right, we're hanging out though, right? We don't have anything else to do.
That was fun.
Yeah,
no, we got nothing going on.
Talk more about football, dude. Did I tell you how excited I am for this weekend? Like, this doesn't happen, right? To the Browns fans or whatever. I mean, I have back-to-back days. I have 2 football games that I really, really, really care about a lot. Ones that will, make or break my mood, right? For a while.
Yeah, man. I'm excited for I'm excited for the Steelers game, especially because that's going to be an interesting. Because this is the first time this has happened since 2002 that the Browns and the Steelers have faced each other in the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of an interesting thing about 9 years prior to when they first locked up in the 2000s. So that's always awesome, in my opinion.
Yeah, and the Browns weren't even that good then. I mean, they had not. Yeah. They backed into the playoffs at 9-7, but I mean, even Pittsburgh, they had. Sorry, my buddy Alan just sent me a picture that he took of me on his television, probably when he's watching this on YouTube.
Oh, thanks.
And it's this
Thank
new
you, Alan.
screensaver. Is he still listening? I asked him if he wants to come on because I'm sure Ray has a lot of questions about my youth.
That would actually be fun.
Yeah. So if he's listening still, dude, yeah.
What? Yeah, send Tim your email and we'll send you the link so you can be on your phone.
We can text it to him. Ray has questions about my youth.
That'll be a fun way to close the podcast out. Actually, is Tim Danko story.
You know what I actually want? I actually want someone to let me just say. Oh, you heard my choir story, right? I've never had anyone like verify it. I need someone to verify that happened. That we sang that.
What was the choir story again? I forget that one.
It was about how we had to sing a slave work song in choir.
We had technical difficulties.
There it is. You see that email address? Send that. Send it to Alan.
Oh.
Your internet's being worse than usual.
Oh God, he put it in the public. That's always fun.
It's fine.
Sending this. Oh man,
that'd be fun. No, but it was. You've heard this bit before about how it's the one where I get kicked out of Kent State. We talked about that before.
Yes.
I told the story about how me and my white choir mates had to sing a slave work song called "Going Up to Glory." Sun up to sundown, pick. What was it? Yeah, picking that cotton. Yeah, sun up to sundown, work for the master. Sun up to sundown, chains and shackles, no more auction block for me. That's what we had to say. Yeah, and we all knew. It was funny because everyone in the choir knew it was a bad idea, except for our choir director. She thought it was fine. It's great. It has a lot of history in this song, and it was weird, and we were embarrassed every single time we sang it.
Oh no. Yeah, that's never good. It's
one of my favorite bits to do, but sometimes I get in trouble for telling that bit because people hear buzzwords. They say, he said picking cotton and work for the master. I did, but I'm singing a song that they made us sing in high school. It's not my fault. I wasn't the racist one.
Yes, you were.
What? No. If it was anyone, it wasn't me. Listen. And I've been telling this story to the masses, okay? And I'm going to keep telling it because, like I said, it's my favorite bit. And when we had Sean Lynch on, he says, it's just funny. He uses that story when he talks about artistic integrity. About comics being able to talk about what they want to talk about. And that's not even that bad. Like some of the early versions, I had some stuff in there. I'm like, man, maybe I need to cut this out. And I have, and I made it better and I made it less weird or controversial, but I still sing the song because you have to know the song, right? Or at least that part of the song to realize how ridiculous it was.
Oh God, I would be mortified. I would be fucking mortified singing that song. I'd be the one just standing off in the corner, like not doing anything.
I remember being in downtown Chicago on like a choir trip we were doing, and we were told to sing that song, and we were all just like, "Don't make us sing this song." And she was like, "Fine, we'll skip it." Because I remember us all being like, "Please don't make us do that right now. Please don't make us do that right now." And eventually, I think
Alan is in the room.
We hated it. All right, let's get it. Hey, buddy.
Hey, buddy, Alan, pleasure to meet you.
Hey, pleasure to meet you guys. Sorry I look like shit. Let me let my hair down so I can prove that I have better hair than Tim. Okay.
You know what? You say that.
I'm gonna give an unbiased opinion here.
Alan, show him the back.
No, we don't talk about that.
See, that's the thing. And you yourself know that I have better hair than you. You've said it multiple times. You're like, how did of all the things that are wrong with me, how come I get the hair? Right? That's the one thing I got.
I put him on the same level as like an Andrew Law.
So I mean.
Oh, I forgot to tell you about this, Ray. We talked about me and Andrew Law's band. Alan was in the band too.
I was in the band. And first off, Tim's got a few things wrong about the spiritual. It's not called Going Up to Glory. It's It's actually called Auction Block. It's called Auction Block. You know it's called Auction Block. They changed it in the North. They didn't change it in the South, Tim. All right? That's how bad that song is. It shouldn't exist.
Where do we live? We live in the North. Therefore, It said "Going Up to Glory" on the sheet music. All right.
Okay.
The song is called "Auction Block." I get even more shit. What's the funny thing about that is like they thought it was cool for us to sing that song, but I get a lot of shit. Like I've gotten in a lot of trouble for just telling the story about that song.
I mean, you're not wrong. We definitely had no business singing that in downtown Chicago. But it wasn't up to us. It wasn't up to us, Tim. All right. I don't know what to tell
And do you remember that big dude with the afro in the front row shaking his head when you were doing it in contest?
Oh, 100%. All right, so you gotta now's your chance to ask me anything you want to know about Tim Danko growing up. I'm like a Tim Danko historian.
It's true.
Oh, I like this. There should be fancy music being played over this, and just like ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, we
I
can
don't have my white gloves, but...
over this.
Tim Danko was born on the 7th day in our Lord 1894.
What?
It was
Right.
That's how it should be. What favorite Tim Danko story that you have of him drunk?
Oh, damn it. All right, let me just start with my favorite Tim Danko story.
All right.
My favorite Tim Danko story.
I think I know.
You know what it is. You know what it is.
Uh-huh.
We were in men's chorus together, and he dropped like the F-bomb or something. I don't remember what it was. And the choir teacher's like, "What did you say?" And Tim was like, "I'm sorry, I have Tourette's."
I did that all the time. Like I was a senior when I got diagnosed, and like that whole year, my phrase the whole year is "Sorry, I have Tourette's." Forever. I did it all the time.
It was so funny. I don't know why that sticks out. All right, man. Tim Danko drunk. Like the problem with me being around Tim when he's drunk, that also means that I'm drunk. So there's not a lot of those. I don't know, Tim. Do you want to like refresh my memory? I don't remember.
Hi, Liz.
That's usually a good drunk story already.
Yeah. I mean, we went to Nashville, Tennessee on a trip together once and had some fun. And we got drugged around by one of his friends to like gay bars and stuff. Yeah. And all Tim wanted to do is sing karaoke.
That's true. And we ended up doing it at a gay bar, because I said to Alan, I'm like, oh, one of my comic friends just happens to be in town, so we should meet up with him. So we met up with Dwayne Duke in Nashville. Ray knows Dwayne.
Yes, love Dwayne. Powerful Dwayne.
And I love Dwayne too. We just happened to be there. And then, it took a turn. Not bad turn. Just got a little weird. I don't know. I wanted to go to Santa's Pub, but we drove there, and Dwayne was like, no, there's too many people here. So we ended up at a gay bar, and that's just fine. And that's fine. I remember dancing.
We went from like Santa's, which was like there you could hear people singing like I don't know, Bon Jovi from the outside. Like if you want to set the scene, like there's lights, it's a party, and so this guy's like, nah, this is too much. Let's go somewhere else. So then we go to like a gay, but there's like two people there. Tim's the only one singing karaoke. Like
pretty much,
it's just depressing. So yeah, that was Nashville. So the moral of the story is don't go downtown Nashville. Do like the extremities. Do the extremities.
Go
ahead. I'm sorry.
What are some traveling choir stories that you have? I want sounds like you guys have like gone to different cities and stuff like that, or do you have any stories of young Tim in different places besides Chicago?
I mean, not really. We went to Europe on a choir tour, and recently my parents brought me a bunch of photos of this trip, and I was sending them to Tim like, hey, look at this photo. He's like, yeah, I remember when we were young, Alan, you idiot. And what I was trying to show him is that in every single picture, my mom took these pictures, by the way. Every single picture she took, one of my dumbass friends was throwing the shocker up, and they had no idea.
And what did I say?
My mom.
I'm proud of
you. He said, yeah, something like all we do back then was like, I don't remember what you said, but it was such an awkward trip. Like I got caught smoking cigarettes.
in France,
Jesus.
which is the Earth capital, smoking cigarettes.
Right. Such a weird trip. No,
I'm trying to think
Tim
of
and I
old drunk
talk about
stories.
this all the time. No, but Tim and I talk. I'm actually not a Tim historian. Here's the thing: is Tim made this point the other day. Had we have not like split up, and I went to college or whatever, and he did whatever, we wouldn't be friends because we would have been around each other all the time. So I actually don't remember anything.
We're really good friends because since high school we see each other like a max 4 times a year.
That's the best kind of friendship. That really is,
Right.
in my opinion.
Right.
Just socially distanced by choice pre-COVID. Like that is the perfect kind of friendship.
I mean, I remember doing drugs with you. That was a problem.
Oh,
yeah, that was fun. We had fun with that for a while.
And of course, I thought I was dying.
What did you think you were dying on, Tim?
Doesn't matter, Ray. I've said before.
Tim, weren't we at Andrew Law's wedding? And we were doing lines of my kids in the. Hold on a second. I get away from the child. Andrew. Where are we?
Uh-oh. Where'd he go?
Uh-oh.
I know what he's talking about, though. It wasn't Andrew's wedding.
Oh, man. My phone's going crazy.
Hold on.
It's okay. I can hear you.
I think on my side, Alan kind of froze, so I didn't get the story.
Alan, that was our buddy Ben's wedding.
Oh, that was Ben's wedding?
Yeah. Sean Boyd was there. Ray knows Sean.
Not as cool of a story.
Yes.
No, it is. I'm trying to get Ben on the podcast because he, works with fighters and stuff, and he's also a judo black belt. But no, at his wedding, yeah, we did go to Alan's car, and yeah, that happened. But
oh boy, that's always fun.
We're good people. I remember
that was Andrew's wedding.
No, we didn't go to Andrew's wedding. No one went to Andrew's wedding because they had it in a small church in Michigan or something. But he had a reception or something in Dover. But no, that was Ben's wedding. And
that shows you what kind of substances we were doing back in the day.
Yeah, maybe. If we don't have that many stories, Alan, we have not been having that much. I'm going to say it's either that or we're not having that much fun.
I don't know.
No, I think it's because we're always hammered.
That's true too. That's like when I was there in August. Alan's fantastic wife Liz, who's great. I love her. I just saw her. I just wanted to say hi. I don't know. Alan took us somewhere and asked why Alan never took me to this place in Columbus before. And then I did remember that usually when I'm there, we're pretty hammered. And we go to sporting events usually.
What
or
part?
Right.
This is your buddy from Columbus?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. What part of Columbus are you in?
Yeah.
He's in the burbs now.
Well, I'm in Worthington these days. I'm in the burbs now, but a month ago I would have been in downtown.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love
you
Columbus.
Get old and you have children, and then you move to the burbs.
That's usually the way of life. I mean, that's one day, hopefully, for me at least. But it's one of the. I love Columbus, man. Columbus is a great town. I have a buddy that actually lives in Dublin, or is from Dublin originally. And I've told the one story of how his stepdad, who had either it was a Stingray or a Barracuda or some kind of muscle car behind glass. Like this dude had an encased car just sitting in his house, and it was right by the river in this one little creek or river in Dublin. And we were just setting off fireworks and bottles because we were 19 at the time. So we really didn't give a shit because we were just idiots. And right on the windowsill of this fancy ass house in Dublin.
Oh my God. Dublin's the nice part of Columbus. That's where the rich people live.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple places. But
oh, dude, this house was fucking nice. I couldn't believe how nice this place was. It was probably one of the nicest houses I've ever been in my life. and Jacob's a great dude. And I remember I was with him when we were at oh God, what is it Barcade over in the Arena District?
16-bit probably.
That's it, 16-bit. Yeah, I like that place. It's right next to Bear Burger. Oh, Bear Burger. I want Bear Burger so bad right now.
Yeah, it's pretty rad.
Oh, I love it.
Alan, if things open
Columbus
up,
is great. We have a lot.
Oh.
What? If things open up.
I was going to say, if things ever open up, we need to go see hockey. We need to go to the Blue Jackets game. That's one thing I would like to do. More than that, we said
that's
we
a
should
great
go to
arena.
Soccer game too, but hockey would be on the list on top of soccer for sure.
Hey, I'm all down, man. Both of you, if you guys both want to come and chill and
you know what? You're being nice today, but
cool,
don't invite Ray to your house.
Always down.
I do overstay my welcome.
He does.
The first hour.
He'll walk in and put his bare feet on your furniture like right away. He does that right away.
I'm very gypsy like.
Me, I try my best. To not piss you people off. I mean, I do leave the guest bedroom a wreck. I do that, right? But
yeah,
I don't make it bad. But you're gonna wash those sheets anyway, right, Alan? It's fine. You're gonna wash them anyway.
Yeah, we always wash them after you leave because they smell horrendous.
Of course they do. They probably do. You know what? You may or may not be joking because my brother gives me crap all the time. He says that I smell awful. Whatever, man. I bathe. It's fine.
No, you're fine.
Alan, are we going to Vegas?
Like Jack Daniels or whatever that shit is. Jim Beam,
yeah.
Oh man, so I planted that seed, and it's not looking good for our heroes. But we'll talk about it.
What was it? Was it just Vegas or anything?
I mean, it didn't go well. It was one of those like, I'm not going to stop you, but I will stab you, kind of thing.
Is it because of the city or because of this going in general? Well, you can go somewhere else.
Well, I mean,
we were thinking about Austin,
a little bit of column B. You know, we're kind of in a pandemic still. You know,
I know.
And when you're in a motherly way, it's not necessarily a good thing to be exposed to anything, really. But you know, look, seed is planted. All right.
You know what? I'm not going to be on the internet, which is forever, saying that I do not agree with Liz. I agree with her 100% no matter what. So there we go. She's the best. I love her. That's true. She's the best. You know what? My friends, my good friends, including Andrew and Alan, have had some terrible girlfriends throughout the time that I've known them. But I love their wives. Andrew's wife, Kelly's great. Your wife's great. My friends have good wives. They had crappy girlfriends. Good wives. And my standards basically means they put up with me. If they can put up with me, then it's.
How many girlfriends of mine have you met? I only dated for like 2 weeks at a time.
Yeah, one. I think one. Maybe 1 or 2. One that lasted more than a while. Yeah, one.
Yeah, one. Like one. Yeah.
All right. You know what? Hang on. I met a lot more Andrews. All right. A lot more Andrews.
Man, my internet connection is terrible. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Don't you work from home, Alan? How do you work if you don't?
Yeah, I think all of our internet connections are kind of shitty right now. But what are you gonna do?
That's why I don't like about StreamYard sucks.
Mine's in my basement. I'm getting some work done. I can't be in the basement, you know.
Sounds good, man.
I would be on my computer if I could, and then I would be.
Darn it.
All right, connections. Garbage. Thanks for having me on. I love you.
Hey, buddy. Love you too. I'll talk to you later. Call me or text me or
You're
whatever.
The best.
Pleasure meeting you, buddy.
I love that guy.
Ray, thanks.
I don't know if he's.
Take it easy, man.
Take it easy.
Hope to see you guys in Columbus.
Absolutely.
Text me.
And
I'll text him right now. He's gone.
removed him from the stream. So we're good.
Yeah, I thought
That
maybe
was
we had
fun.
better scores. Yeah, he's one of my favorite people.
It's okay. If we ever go down to Columbus, we can always have a podcast with him on live from like his house, and we'll have more of a.
We didn't talk about actually what would be good stories is his band stories, because he was in like an electro band when he was in college, and a little bit after that. They're actually pretty solid, but he has some crazy freaking stories with that kind of stuff. And yeah.
Oh man. Tim, this has been. Do you want to end this, or what do you want to do?
Dude, I don't have anything else going on. I don't know, man. I mean, no one's gonna pay attention. Let's talk about.
Since we are since we are an MMA podcast, let's talk about some things, some stuff, some MMA news that has been.
You know what we're doing, Ray? We're cataloging ourselves to become immortal, right?
Yes.
This is online. This is the more we're online, the more more things that are online of us. We will live forever on the line, right?
That we will for sure. Trying to at least. I want to be immortal.
Let's at least both get to our 70s at least, but yeah.
Yeah, I see 50s for me, but that's just the way
That's one
I
thing.
live.
Alan just gives me shit and tells me I need to work out because he's right, because he said he needs to have some friends when he's 60. I'm like, yeah, you're right. That's a good point. So
yeah.
What's going on fight wise, Ray?
I mean, there's a lot coming up. We have that, and also for anybody listening to this afterwards, feel free also to stream us. We are available wherever you get your streaming, including Spotify, Apple Podcast. I'm putting up I'm back. All the back episodes have been going up over the past couple days. I've been working on that. Episode 45 just hit. And also I want to do
we're not up to date.
Not yet. I've finished them all, and then there was something that went wrong, and I did some dumb things, but I'm slowly getting everything back to what it should be. And this episode will go up right after those, so it'll probably be up by the end of the night, wherever you stream. I do want to shout out as well, and I'm going to look up their Twitter because that's how you can really mostly find them. And it's Cole Clayton. Shout out to him and his podcast. After the episode that he dropped, The Greatest Damn Show on Air is the name of the podcast. We got a massive bump in listenership just basically overnight to all of our old episodes. So we appreciate anybody that did that. Like, share, subscribe. If you're on Apple Podcasts or Google Podcasts, leave a comment. We will, once we get enough people, start reading those comments as well, because I think that'd be kind of fun. Even if they're death threats, I don't care.
Especially if they're death threats.
Yes, if they're death threats, that would be amazing. If we got that big to where we had death threats, I would feel like the greatest human being on the planet.
Right, you're doing something right if someone says they're going to kill you for it. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
And then get detailed about it. I'm like, wow, I didn't know you could use a paper bag for that. That's interesting.
If you're going to send death threats, please have as much details as possible. Right? We don't want vague death threats. We want specific death threats.
Yes, please, because that way the authorities can be not appraised of what's going on, and we can continue with our lives.
You know what I saw today, Ray?
What'd you see?
I'm going to call this a Bro Plata podcast sponsored event. It happened today. It's not really, but approved event. Dudes from Route 250 went up to Revolution today. Andrew, who we had on,
I saw that,
and Brogan and Hunter, they all went up there with Eric and George and those guys.
Yeah, I saw that on Revolution, or Andrew posted it on his Facebook, and I saw, like, all of a sudden I see like Revolution like wall behind him, and I'm like, what the? Why didn't you call me? I could have been there. I could have showed up and met you. You son of a bitch! I live right just.
That's why they didn't tell you, because I know
you make a good point. Yeah. You do make a very salient point. I'm not gonna lie. Because the technique is not the best thing I have. So But yeah, that was a kind of a cool thing to see the meshing of the worlds. Who are you staring at, huh?
My mother is looking for the cat.
Aw. That face. Like for some reason the camera stopped on you and you just look like you were guilty. That was kind of funny.
Oh, I don't know where she is.
Oh man, but yeah, that was cool because again, I will always sing the praises of Revolution. I've not been down to Route 250, so I do not know. But from Andrew and getting to know him through the podcast, it's always good to see good brothers working together. That's always a fun thing, man. I like that. I liked it a lot.
Yeah. What else were we going to talk about? What's going on in fight?
Well, how about how about we talk about this? Let me get the name up.
Hey, Mom, will you make me a drink? I'm doing this on purpose, so it's on the internet forever because it is pretty ridiculous. It's messing my mother make me a drink on the internet. You just put 2 shots of bourbon in there and some more soda, maybe up to like there. Thank you.
I pulled this story up because it's quite interesting. And it's Erwin Rivera.
I don't need any more. Maybe a little bit. I'm sorry.
You're okay, buddy.
I was pulling a Will Ferrell and Wedding Crashers.
Ma, I gotta be alone. I gotta do this now.
Right.
Ma.
All right.
You never seen King of Comedy?
I don't know.
King of Comedy with De Niro. It's a really good movie about like a sad guy that just wants to be a comic and like the sidekick on a 70s talk show.
I saw the Comedian. I like that.
I've not seen The Comedian. King of Comedy is older than The Comedian.
I liked it because that guy's like I said before, that guy definitely seems like someone that we would have worked with at the Funny Style Comedy Club a lot.
Probably. I've never seen the movie, so I can't really comment on it.
He's like, well, number one, the first scene, he's doing like a show with old TV people with Jimmy J.J. Walker.
Oh, Jesus.
Who's been at the Funny Stop many times.
Yes. Senor Dynamite.
All right, so what are you saying? What's going on?
Yeah, you're familiar with Erwin Rivera, yes?
Oh yeah, he killed some people. Oh, he tried to kill some people. Luckily, he wasn't successful.
Yes. that was when this came across the wire because the name sounds familiar. And then
Rivera's right. There's Jerome and Jimmy, and then Erwin. I don't think they're related, but Rivera is a relatively common name in some places.
It was in Boynton Beach.
I don't know what your mother. I'm sorry. Sorry, I could have muted the microphone, but I didn't.
God damn you. God damn you, Timothy. How dare you? How dare you? Greta Thunberg. Ugh. Supposedly, or this is the Boynton Beach police officers found 2 women, one age 22 and the other 33 with multiple stab wounds. Being called to a residence per the incident report. The younger women had wounds in their back, arm, or head and arm. He went for the fucking head. Jesus Christ. The older woman had wounds on her back, face, arms, hands, and two had collapsed lungs. They both had. He went hardcore, dude. You can definitely tell that his career is over now, which is nice. And
for sure,
it's what's your take on this?
Well, what's my take supposed to be, man? Like a dude. What really sucks is that there's still it's getting better, and we've talked about this before, but there's still a stigma with MMA fighters that they don't deserve, and this isn't going to help.
No.
And also, Mike Perry put a video online of him with like a broke, he put a leg through a window and he's bleeding. And that, I mean, number one, like we're not surprised because Mike Perry just does stuff like that. But just another guy, Irwin Vera. Like, okay, so these guys are also obviously pseudo masculine and they're insane. They're psychopaths. That's why they do this sport because they're crazy people. And if you let them out in the streets, this is going to happen, right? That's not true. There are a few examples. However, there's a few examples in every single sport. Dude, there was a kicker for the Giants who got in trouble for beating up his wife. Like it's just statistics, I guess. But I mean,
Jeff Reed from the Steelers would fight people in the streets of Pittsburgh in bars, like right across from PNC Park.
There you go. Like it has nothing to do with the sport. But people that are against the sport, which are less and less now, especially since it finally got okayed in New York, are going to say, "Oh, this is no, these guys are monsters. You're all monsters." Right? Yeah, they're all monsters. Okay. John, when he was on earlier, was talking about Myles Garrett, how he's like the nicest guy ever, but he puts the helmet on, right, and he's a beast. I mean, there's a lot of fighters like that, and we've talked to some of them, right? Andrew and Eric, those guys, nicest people ever. But that's how probably most guys are, right? Most guys are like that. And some guys have a persona, like they pretend like they'll beat you up in the streets, but really it's mostly an act. But yeah, of course. I mean, there's a couple insane people, but that's nothing to do with the sport. 0% to do with the sport.
No. And it never should be. It should never be about the sport. I've always championed that you put the individual on trial. You do not put the entire goddamn thing on trial. Ever. Unless it's obviously super racist or something like that, like the Klan or something, then feel free to blame the entire organization. But like you look at like, I always hate that the stereotype that I always love that I have found to be kind of true is football players. Always like some of the most hyper masculine, sometimes overtly masculine to the point where you're like, in the showers, you might be different. Is always been football players, MMA players. Why not? When you play MMA, you'll win all day. But it's one of those things where like, for some reason, MMA fighters are the most gentle human beings. And I think it's because of just, you're in constant aggro where you're like, I need to be different outside the gym. Like this is the place to be that.
Also, if they've had any traditional martial arts training, like that's what martial arts are, right? They're not what's the word I'm looking for? They're not alpha, like super alpha, like I'm going to beat you up or whatever. No. That's not what it is at all, any martial arts. So that's a lot of it is because guys are martial artists and then, I mean, even the ones that start just training everything at once, they probably still have a jiu-jitsu coach who's a real jiu-jitsu guy, right? So they still take actual jiu-jitsu classes or whatever. And yeah, that's not the thing. And that's not what they do in traditional martial arts.
Yeah, no. And
football is different. Football, for whatever reason, they tell you have to be mean, right? I don't know. Growing up, I'm assuming it's changed a lot now with the youth. I'm assuming. But there's a time that you have to be a monster to be nasty and mean and whatever. I'm like, you don't have to be. In between the lines and in between the whistles, yeah. Okay, yeah. But obviously, there's so many people that can turn it on and off, obviously. I mean, sometimes, like we said, we're using Myles Garrett as an example, but this is also a guy who hit a dude with his own helmet. In between the lines. In between the lines is about fair game. But, outside, it's different. But my point is that it's the culture, right? The culture of football is a lot different than especially traditional martial arts. The night and day.
Extremely. And also like I've found that, and I come from a sport that it just was completely aggro every 10 seconds. Even in the locker room, there'd be guys fucking like trying to like pump themselves up. The parents, like every single parent, including the mothers, are fucking wanting to fight each other in hockey. So it's like I look at when I came into martial arts as like just a casual practitioner, it was kind of even a weird thing to do where you're like, fucking, I want to get all like, and then you get in there and you're like, oh, 60% of the people in my class are stoned. Cool. This is nice. I like it.
Yeah. Really. And then not only that, like if you're new, right, they'll be gentle with you to help you learn, right? That's not the thing in football, man, at all.
No.
Not at all. They're like, hey, we're going to beat you up until you're tough enough to beat me up. That's basically how they do things. And like I said, I think things are probably, I mean, there's so many different football teams in the country, obviously. It's different everywhere. But I think as a whole, it's probably a little bit different now because, I don't know, kids now are responding differently to different kind of things. And that's not working as much. The guy is a super disciplinarian. I'm going to, scream at you and beat you up until you're better. It doesn't really work as much anymore. Not only,
No.
I mean, some people will say just, I don't know, like you're not allowed to do that anymore. I'm like, that's one thing, but also I just don't think it's working anymore. I don't know how many people, I mean, there are some people that probably still do it like that, but I'm probably less than I used to.
Oh, there's way less parents out there like that. Even like hockey games, there you still have. There's always a son of a bitch in every crowd. I mean, you can't really ever make it fully go away because you will always have those super aggro dads or moms that are just like, play my kid and blah, 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 because they feel it's that ego boost that their kid is good at something and because they're parents. And I find that to be the worst of any kind of parent. Like my parents to a certain point would do that like during games, and then afterwards my dad may, critique me, and sometimes like in the car will tell me something, but like it never came out in like at us, me and my brother, ever. And it was I liked that part, and it kept me grounded. Like the kids whose parents were fucking yelling at like kids all the time. I'll tell you a story off air because I don't want to use the guy's name. But I still remember this mom to this day, like running over to the bench every shift going, he needs to be out there. Why aren't you putting him in? And you're just like, wow, that is somebody with such a weak ego. Like, holy shit. You're yelling about your 12-year-old not getting enough playing time? Fuck that, sir.
Yeah, and I mean, I've talked about it before because I umpire baseball. I see it all the time. Tons.
Yeah,
and I mean,
I've seen it refereeing hockey too. It's never.
And the thing is, there's only a few that I really remember, right? So I mean, but there's a lot of people that say stuff, but there's only a few that I remember because the ones that I remember are really outrageous, or they come after me or something or whatever. Yeah, they say stuff about my hair, which is fun because that matters. But I was too young when I was refereeing hockey to for people to yell at me, but I looked older than I actually did. So like when I was in middle school, there were times. I got yelled at when I was in middle school.
Yeah. That was around the time. Same for me. That was my first chastising from a coach. He got on the ice and he was like 75 and was completely just getting in my face. My dad was like, "That is a weak man."
Oh,
yell at a kid like that. It's terrible. Yeah. I hate it. If you have passion, that's one thing. If you are just a dick,
right? There's a difference. When you're around it a lot, you know the difference, right? And I've said before, I don't mind a little bit. There's a difference between passion and being a dick, right? I mean, and I do believe most people don't think that I'm trying to rig the game on purpose. I think most people believe that, but there are some that think that for whatever reason that I'm trying to screw them over, and I'm not. Just trying to do my best. And there's a reason why still and it's gonna be the trend. There's gonna be less and less people that are gonna want to do amateur sports, youth sports, and officiating, and that's why. I mean, that's why. I mean, I honestly think in our lifetimes, it's going to get so bad that there's going to have to be some kind of, they're going to make some kind of rule. They're going to have to make some kind of rule about parents and things they can do and things they can say, or schools maybe individually with maybe 3 strike rules or something. I mean, it's going to get bad. It's going to be so bad to the point that they can't get people to do these things. They can't get people to to the point that they're going to have to do something that will be really sad. I don't know if I told you this story or not. a kid I went to high school with does basketball, and he told me that he was doing a new Philly game a while back, and his parents were there. And they were at the game, and people were yelling at his parents because they knew
What?
that was their son reffing the game, and they were yelling at him. And he's like, after that, he's like, I would never do another Philly game because that happened.
No.
I'm like, I can't believe they stooped that damn low. Right? They yelled at your parents. Are you serious?
Yeah.
Man, if they would have happened to me, oh my gosh, I could have. My mother would have been at one of my games, and they would have went off on my mom for a call that I made. I would be done. I would never ever do another game for those people. So I don't.
Oh
blame
yeah.
them.
That's
Oh my gosh, just the thought of that just pisses me off. And the fact that he said that happened, I'm like, I do not blame you, man. That is awful. Because I actually I've seen his parents. They go to stuff. They've always gone to stuff. They still go to stuff. They don't have kids in, but they go to stuff still. So they were probably going to go anyway. But the fact that people were giving them shit because they didn't like the call their son made. Are you serious? Those people that are good, nice people in the community that go to stuff and support the athletics at school, and you're going to give them shit while they're watching the game for fun, right? Because dude, oh my, for him it pissed me off. Like I said, if it ever happened to me, it'd be a problem.
I remember I kicked. There was this one guy that was just being a total just douchebag. And they tried to spin on me when I tried to not spin something on me where I tried to use the F word, but under my breath.
Yeah.
Because he was just being a dick. And I'm like, dude, I'm not going to take that. I'm like, dude, just get off the bench, go home. You're not, I'm not allowing you to be on the bench anymore. And he got in my face while he tried to do it. And I was just like, just get out, bye, get the hell out. And that was, to me, that because of the fact that one, I was going to the high school of the youth program that was thing. I looked at my our future and just went, oh no, this isn't good. This is not good if coaches are like this as an official. And I think that was one of my last years refereeing hockey because it was just I had so many bad coaches, just awful coaches that really didn't know the etiquette. Because if you're a coach and you're bitching every 2 seconds, it's like, no, I'm sorry, it's not. You just got to go with what you got to go with. It doesn't matter. You know what I'm saying? It's a game. First of all, you're not making money off of this. It's not like you're being hired or fired off of it. And for fans, I've always, no matter what, with especially hockey fans, like I said, to get that drunk, really just brutal crowd. I don't know how those guys do it on the professional level. It's quite
paid more. I mean,
however, yeah.
I mean, I know the road to Major League Baseball umpiring is pretty tough. You make 6,600 or something like that. I looked it up one point for a minor league season or something crazy, right? You have to be young and not have a family and be able to do it. But yeah, those guys get shit all the way up, right? I'm sure, and they're not making that much money. I mean, that's what they're doing, and they're trying to, just like the players, they're not making a ton, but they're trying to get to the majors.
Yeah,
it's exactly the same. But yeah, geez, I couldn't. 10-cent beer night, sure.
Oh God, that's never fun. And it was such a great story. I love that story so much.
Oh, it's funny. It's hilarious. Even they tried to do it at the Cleveland Crushers game or something a couple years ago, and it went the same way, kind of. I mean, it didn't go that bad, but it got bad.
Oh boy, yeah. I don't know. I would not want to be that would be the last place I'd want to be on earth at 10-cent beer night is at a professional or semi-pro baseball game.
Yeah.
Oh my God. I remember.
Yeah, those things are nuts anyway because they do all kinds of stuff to get those people in the door to begin with, right? It's hard enough. So, I mean, they always have cheap beer those games because they need you there, right? But
my dad used to sit next to a beer at the Captain Stadium.
I miss the Canton Crocodiles and the Canton Coyotes.
I never heard of those.
No, they played in the Frontier League, I believe.
Oh, okay, so in the same league as the Crushers.
Yeah, same league as the Crushers.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
They played Frontier League. They played at Thurman Munson Stadium, which is still there in Canton. And yeah, that was
Make
fun.
sure
It was,
planes
it
go
was a
nowhere
lot of
near it.
fun. It was a lot of fun. I wish, like, if that was still there, I probably would go. I'd probably be a season ticket holder. I'd probably go all the time.
Yeah, I'd join you because
Yeah,
I like minor league baseball because one of my favorite movies is Bull Durham. Like Bull Durham
Right.
is one of my favorite minor league baseball movies ever.
Well, it's the best minor league baseball movie by far. It's probably the best baseball movie. Period. We talked about that.
You're overlooking the dramatic classic movie, instant classic, if I may say, Major League Back to the Minors, sir.
Man, even Bob Uecker regrets doing that movie. He says it. He's like, I really wish I didn't do that movie. It was bad.
It was so bad.
Scott Bakula. Yeah, it was bad. I really wish that had never happened. Honestly, and you know what? Just because it just kind of like you put took a shit on the franchise, and because Major League is fantastic. And what?
Would Space Jam count as a minor league baseball movie? Because it does start with Michael Jordan in.
Dude, oh man, Space Jam 2, I think, is supposed to come out next year, right? Or maybe
Is it?
Either next year or the year after. Wait, it's 2021, so either this year or next year.
Okay.
I guarantee it's going to be terrible.
I
think they're doing everything wrong. It seems like number one, Wayne Knight is not in the movie. I don't believe. Which, what the hell, man?
Oh my
God! He was a big part of that first movie.
They didn't. They're not doing. I Believe I Can Fly.
I don't know. No, not Brian McKnight. I'm talking Wayne Knight Newman.
Oh, well, I mean,
he was a big part of that movie. He's still around. He's still acting. You can't put him in the movie. Why is he not in the movie? Ridiculous.
Because it's different than the Jordan one. This time it's going to be LeBron.
He still needs to be there. He needs to be in. If he's not in, I'm be very pissed. He better be in. Maybe he's going to have a surprise, maybe a cameo.
He better be cameo.
He better be in.
You have Bill Murray showing up on the bench again. Being like, LeBron, great. Can I play?
That was awesome. I just said a million times, I love Space Jam.
It's a great film.
As a kid, I love it as an adult. It's great. And it's funnier for different reasons as an adult. My favorite line in the whole movie, Larry isn't white, Larry is clear. I don't know what that means, but it was hilarious. It's a great movie, but I have my expectations are very low. I think they're going to butcher it.
Any kind of sequel, I always have low expectations. You can hear the Mad TV music in your head. Lowered expectations because you have to. Because like there's like Slapshot. I always use this because it's my favorite movie. I've been to the actual place where they shot it. I've experienced that building when it's full of people for a hockey game. It's fucking awesome. But it's Slapshot. They tried to do it with the one Baldwin, the Jesus freak Baldwin brother.
Steven.
They tried to do 2 Stephen Baldwin Slapshot movies, and they were just embarrassing. They were awful. Like ew.
Yeah, I don't think I saw the third one. The second one I saw, like the Super Chiefs one, where they try to they made them lose games. It was like a Harlem Globetrotters kind of thing, or something like that. I don't know. It was dumb. It was dumb. Either way, it was awful.
It was god.
At least Major League 2 was okay, right? Like at least it was all right. The third one is just a different story, but decent. There's some insane people out there that like the second one more than the first one. I think they're insane.
Yeah, I would definitely say I would put Major League before Major League 2.
They just flip flop all the characters. Let's make Charlie Sheen the opposite that he was in the first movie. Pedro Serrano, let's make him the opposite as he was in the first movie. That's basically all they did, and it was silly. Anyway, where were we? I don't know. Oh, Space Jam. Yeah, it's gonna. I think there's a way it could be done that it could be good again. But everything I'm seeing, I don't have high expectations, but I'll watch it.
Yeah, I'll definitely watch it when it comes out. Hopefully it's in theaters in 3D, so that way you have motion sickness while watching how bad it is.
Yeah, I hope so too. Yeah.
That would be nice. Putting the glasses over my glasses so I can see clearly instead of just blurry. It's quite nice.
Hey man, I've been drinking on an empty stomach, so I'm gonna pretty soon here. I'm not gonna be able to know how to English. So maybe we should,
Yes, we will reconvene soon, my lovely people. Thank you. We had a great uptick in people watching today. There were some times where we had some nice numbers for a live stream that we've been doing this as long as we have. We had some technical issues and glitches, but hey, it's 2021. We've had it already. And
two
Tim
guests today. That was
what?
new. We had 2 guests today. Thank you to John Brown and Alan Plotz.
Hell yeah, those are a lot of fun to actually like to hear some Tim Danko stories. Alan will have you on again in the near future, so I'm excited about that. And yeah, thank you to John Brown. Go check out the Brown Petrie Dish podcast. There's an episode with me on there, and also he will be hosting tonight. The first show is already gone on.
Yeah, it's probably about to start if it hasn't already, and the next one is at 8:30 or something.
Yeah, it's at 8:30, so go check that out for the 8:30 show. But yeah, thanks to John Brown again for being on. Can't wait to have him back on again. And we will be doing this 2 to 3 times a week once the UFC starts. Their schedule will back up again. We will have a show. I don't know when probably will be
probably Wednesday. I don't know, next week sometime. Like before Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, one of those days before the card on the 16th, and then we're gonna do another one before the Wednesday card. So,
and I'll be setting up interviews as well with some people. Hopefully this year is better than last year, everybody. So that's always a fun time. But for Tim Danko, I'm Ray Highclack. Thank you guys for watching. And as you did in 2020, keep on going to the Kumite, motherfuckers. Yeah.
The Kumite. Have I said this before? Kumite sounds like a cappuccino of some sorts.